Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. So, this was a very interesting scene with Sunny and Michael for a couple of reasons. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I've been dragging Michael and I've been dragging Jocelyn for the exact same thing, right? In a lot of ways, they still do hold true. Now, I understand. I'm a person that holds grudges, okay? I understand how angry you can be at someone, right? And how it takes a while before you can cool down. And you do start to have regret about how you felt about this person that you generally love. That level of guilt or that level of contempt that you've been having towards that person, I get that. Um, So when Michael was saying how sorry he was, and he was turning somebody that he was, that he didn't want to be. I get all that, okay, and even to an extent, I get where Jocelyn's coming from, okay. The reason why I sit there and I give them both smoke isn't for the fact that eventually Jocelyn down the line is going to sit there and change her mind and realize how much she loves Sonny and just being angry for what Sunny did to the family, to her mom, and everything like that. I get that. I understand. I understand regret. My issue was never with that. My issue is the fact that they knew what Sunny did their entire lives, and they lived off of that money, that protection, that status, all that. They lived off of that stuff for years, and that's what I've been dragging them about. That's what I've been dragging them about up until this point. It's the fact that they both came across as hypocrites. It's like Jocelyn Smith is saying, well, Sonny's a criminal. He's always been a criminal. And you know that. That hasn't changed. And being angry at somebody and calling them out and just having that anger cloud you is one thing. But wanting to sit there and send this person to jail is entirely something else. Because I've been mad at people and just been like, you know what? I'm just not going to deal with you. And that's fine. But then also, they know what the business is like, and they know what happens when Sonny's not there. The boogeymen come out to play. So in a lot of ways, they still do look pretty stupid, but I understand the anger and then being like, all right, you know what? Listen, I still do love you, and I'm turning to somebody that I'm not. So the thing is, though, with Michael is that he kept doing this whole little tease with us, where it's like he wanted to sit there and really confess everything. Like, hey, by the way, there was a point that I was actually going to try to take you to jail. Yeah, I was going to sit there and just turn you in. I just figured you knew that since, we're having this whole confession time and everything like that. I just want to let you know. But of course, he doesn't say it. And while it does come across, while it is in a lot of ways a very heartwarming kind of scene, all that goes out the window for the simple fact that, Michael, now you're sitting there lying to him. You're going to sit there and turn him in, and yeah, he dodged the bullet now, but also, where's the evidence at? Where's the evidence at? Did they go back to the dumpster or the garbage or anything like that to make sure that it's melted this time or anything? Or they're just like, screw it. It's never going to be found. I mean, not that long ago, Sonny was going to go to jail by, I forgot that chick's name that just wound up being a complete and utter waste of a character. And then they moved her to Y&R, so she can also be somewhat of a waste of a character, something named Hendrix. Time will tell. Now, the scene with Cody and Sasha. Here's the thing. When Cody first came to town, I had no problems with him. There was a lot of people that could not stand him. And I never really understood that level of contempt for the character. I'm just like, I don't get it. But I feel like most people are looking at him in a different light, like they're redeemed. I mean, he's redeemed in a lot of people's eyes because of what he's doing for Sasha. And yes, eventually they will sit there and be a romance because, well, there was gonna be one with Britt, and we all know what happened with that. So that's gonna wind up happening. Gladys, Gladys, Gladys. Gladys is the gift that just keeps on giving. So after she gets down to Ferncliff and she starts to act like a Karen, then she winds up calling Nina. And Nina left Sonny's place. Now Gladys is sitting there like, oh no, the doctor, Sasha got kidnapped by Cody. Yeah, the doctor, he's probably working with the doctor and everything. And I'm just like, wow. You can just tell how much of a terrible person that Gladys is, that she just came up with that lie on the spot, like it was just second nature. If you ever worked in retail and you've dealt with some really nasty people, those are the type of people that will sit there and say something like that because they've been trashed their entire life. And that's literally how Gladys is. Um Dante knew. Dante knew exactly what Sam Smith did doing, and I find it kind of interesting because this isn't the first time that he had to sit there and pretty much compromise himself as far as being a cop, knowing what Sam done, and being like, well, I hope for the best for those two. This isn't the first time. And I don't know, I guess it's kind of interesting when he first came to town and he was all about a book and everything like that, ready to take Sonny down and this, that, and the third, ready to take Michael to jail and everything like that. And I was like, well, I hope for the best for those two. Nina. Nina pretty much got told, like Sonny told Nina, about the plan and everything like that. And she was, even when he got home, she was still kind of freaking out. And of course, she was like, because Sonny was like, hey, let's not apologize. That's just how it is in my world and stuff. And he was like, no, it's fine. Even if I have days like, when I'm worried and stuff, the happy times outweigh the bad times. And, something along the lines of, I knew what I was getting myself into when I decided to date you. The hell you did not. This chick is sitting there running around town asking Carly for advice, freaking out, practically having an intervention with Olivia and Alexis. And I'm pretty sure somebody else is there when Alexis like, yo, this is how it is in Sonny's world. Even Ava was like, okay, he may get out next week and he may be back in jail in 2 months. But she's all like, I knew exactly what I was getting into when I decided to date you. Yeah, okay. All right, boom. Like this, if this chick keeps sitting there saying it multiple times, it's going to just magically convince her that it's true. So Jake finally comes to the bar with Charlotte and Violet. I've seen on Twitter that some people have been like, Violet has been doing too much. Okay, Violet has been doing too much. And today, she was like, oh, so y'all two on a date? I felt like watching that scene, it's like I had secondhand embarrassment. And a couple of times when they kind of like scurried off somewhere, Violet's like, oh, I want to sit there and see what's going on. And Finn was like, no, 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 let them just, let them just chill. And then she goes to Willow, and then, she's talking to Willow for a little bit, and she's like, oh, I want to sit there and see what the two are doing. And Willow's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not do this for X and Y reasons. Here's the thing. I give Violet a pass because Violet's like what 5 or 7. Um, I give her a pass. I know people sniff the saying she's being kind of extra, but she is a kid, so it's like I kind of expect that at that point. And sniff they're talking to Liz about Gregory and his illness that apparently he is just never going to get around to sitting there telling Chase. And Chase and Chrissy are there. I'm not gonna lie, this bar scene, I feel like it's like a really good way of making sure that everyone gets their contracts fulfilled because I felt like Willow wasn't really needed. Chrissy wasn't really needed. Chase wasn't really needed. I'm surprised we didn't sit there and see Brooklyn there, to be honest. Um, but I know that with these shows, it has to be a certain amount of appearances for people. So kind of gotta just cram it on in, and that's literally what they wound up doing. But Liz is there looking at Jake like he's growing up too fast and he's already dating and everything like that. And I'm like, Liz, how old were you when you started dating? Yeah, okay, exactly. I feel like that's about it. I can't really think of anything else that wound up happening. But as always, if I did miss anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, Y&R, Days, B&B, and of course, GH. With that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Laters.